Oh, hey, Beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. For those of you new to the channel, I'm B, and on this channel, we help you improve your confidence by way of compliments using the wonderful world of fragrance. If this is your second video or more, we ask that you hit the subscribe button so you can come back to rock with your boy. Today's video is one I am really excited about because it's been a while since I've done a video in this type of way. All right, this is the top 5 list, as you can see from the title, and today we're going to keep this one short and simple and really talk about 5 do-all fragrances. Listen, I have an expansive fragrance collection, as well as a lot of you and a lot of YouTubers out there, but if you're looking for 5 that can get the job done with just one, then I think these fragrances on today's list will work. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get down to Big Beard Business. The first fragrance on today's list is one that's been around for a while. Sort of. The fragrance is actually the 2020 version of this fragrance, and I actually kind of went back and forth determining which iteration of this fragrance I was actually going to put on today's list, but I figured the 2020 version is probably going to be the one that most of you who are looking will run into when you're out and about within stores. So the fragrance comes from the house of Dior, and this one is Dior Homme. Now, Dior Homme has been around, as I mentioned, for a long time, and with that we've seen a ton of flankers as well as a number of variations in terms of how they release the fragrance, right? Which notes were going to be prominent, and this one took a slightly different twist. Now, personally, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the Dior Homme originals, right? Or this latest one here. And most of the flankers really fit as well, but not all of them are do-all because they have their own twist. Hence why they are flankers. Now, Dior Homme is a fragrance that in itself is masculine in a way, but it also has this powdery freshness to it, and it also comes off as a fragrance that is extremely sophisticated in my personal opinion. And that's one of the things that I do enjoy about this scent. And with this one specifically, the 2020 version, it is still powdery freshness, it is sophisticated, but it has this youthfulness to it that I think really is going to speak to some of you out there who may be in the early stages within the fragrance world, or maybe a bit younger in nature. With Dior Homme, you can feel confident, you can feel bold, obviously you can feel sophisticated. This one takes a different twist. The iris isn't the prominent note here. You do have some wood notes, you have some vetiver, you have patchouli within this fragrance, and some cedar. All in, I think this is a fragrance that a lot of people out there will enjoy, and overall it's a nice do-all scent. You can wear this one casually as well to the office, and if you were just lounging around with the missus, I think this fragrance could be good as well. Dior Homme, well, it's on the list. Now, the next fragrance on today's list is from a house that releases high quality luxury scents, and this fragrance here is no different. Now, albeit this fragrance is a flanker, it comes from a line of fragrances that has done extremely well, and this one is really no different in my personal opinion. I chose this version of this fragrance simply because in my mind, it's the best between the 3 that are out today. The fragrance comes from Chanel, and this one is Bleu de Chanel, and this one is the Parfum version. Now, I know a lot of you out there, minds immediately go to the EDP, the Eau de Parfum, and that is perfectly fine. In fact, if that's your fragrance of choice, I would tell you to wear that fragrance and to wear it with pride. But here's what I'll tell you about not only this fragrance, but the entire line in itself. These fragrances are phenomenal. When we think about fragrances that are done right, this is generally speaking one of those fragrances that you often go back to. In fact, there are quite a few fragrances that have come out and that have flopped, right? There's no need for flankers, and this fragrance here is not one of those. This fragrance has this refreshing feel to it, and when you get to this scent, specifically the Parfum version, there's this added warmth to this scent that I personally enjoy. In fact, when I think through the EDT, the EDP, and the Parfum, I think that these fragrances can really transition with you throughout stages of your life. You're in high school, the EDT might be best for you. Early college, the EDP might be best for you. And Parfum could be good for everything else. However, if you're like me, I think that you could wear any of those fragrances at any stage in your life, and you can also wear them for a variety of reasons, which is good. Now, this fragrance adds this creaminess and warmth to this, right? So you got some cedarwood here, which provides that wood aspect here. You also get some of that sandalwood here that helps with that creaminess, and this fragrance is quite fresh. It says a kind of a blue fragrance, but without being overtly blue. It's one that I personally enjoy, and I think a lot of you out there, scratch that, I know a lot of you out there do as well. So Bleu de Chanel is on our list today and comes in the not number 2 spot. It's just the fragrance that I talked about second. And speaking of seconds, that takes me to a pivot point in this video. This is just a reminder in case you missed the official announcement that your boy is coming out with his second fragrance collection. Yes, as I mentioned, I am coming out with my second fragrance collection, which will feature 3 fragrances, and I'm super excited to bring them to you. Now, as you know, I released 5 fragrances initially. We had Exalt Nuit, Soir Exclusive, we had Idola, Elation, and Veuve Matin. All fragrances that I personally enjoy. I know a lot of you out there did as well, because they kind of covered the entire range of what you were looking for. With this next go around, we look to do the same thing, but with 3 fragrances that covered the entire scope. Do all fragrances, if you will. Now, what I'll tell you about these fragrances, one of the main points for me, as I've mentioned before in videos on Instagram, and I'm telling you again today, one of the things that I wanted to go for is to have a more affordable point of entry. Now, the first fragrances were at $195, and we did a lot of things right with those fragrances, right? But I did feel that we could do things a little bit differently, right? In terms of price points, right? Could we keep the same type of level of perfumers? Yes. Could we keep the same level of presentation, if not better? Yes. Could we provide higher quality atomizers, although the first go around was super amazing? Yes, we could do all of those things and still find a way to bring it to our customers, you, the viewers, and those who you may gift these things to with a better price point. And the 3 fragrances that we were releasing will have a better price point while still maintaining all of those things that I talked about. The quality of the ingredients have not changed, right? The level of perfumers have not changed, although we do have some very, very, very good fragrance perfumers out there. All right, listen, I'm super excited to bring this to you, but I did want to make sure that everyone out there was aware. What you can do is click down below. I have a link for a mailing list. You can be one of the first people to know when the fragrances go live, as well as check out some of those discounts that could be available when they launch. Listen, that's all I have for you on that. I didn't want to take up too much of this video, but since we're talking about do all fragrances and we were talking about seconds, I figured it'd be good to announce the second release from your boy. All right, comment down below. Let me know if you are excited. I know I haven't told you much about the ingredients yet. Actually, I haven't told you anything. That's to come, but I'm definitely excited to share it with you. Now, the next fragrance on my list today is a do-all fragrance if I've ever seen one. This fragrance is cool, it's spicy, it's woody, it's fresh, and it does everything you need a fragrance to do. This one comes from Armani, and this one is Acqua Armani Profumo. Now, Profumo is a scent that really has gotten a lot of acclaim, specifically here on YouTube, because it does so many things well. This fragrance comes off as a deeply sophisticated scent that really works for you in almost any situation, therefore making it a do-all fragrance. Do I feel comfortable wearing this fragrance to the office? For sure. Would I be comfortable wearing this fragrance to a job interview because I haven't secured it yet? For sure. This fragrance is extremely inoffensive in my personal opinion, and it also jumps off of the skin. This fragrance has, again, that deeply sophisticated feel, but again, like the other fragrances on this list today, it really works in a multitude of environments. Dress this fragrance up for sure. Wear this fragrance casually for sure. Rock this fragrance on a date. Yes, you could do that as well. It's not the cuddle buddy activity, but it's definitely date worthy, and it gets the nod from a lot of ladies out there. So if you're looking for a fragrance that, as this video states can bring you more confidence via compliments, then this is one of those fragrances that you should and could reach for. All right, man. So there you have it, Acqua di Gio Profumo from Armani. This next fragrance I want to mention today is a fragrance that I was impressed with on first spray. I came across this fragrance in the mall and I said, this is new. And it's not new anymore, but I still remember that initial feeling from this fragrance. This fragrance comes from Coach, and this fragrance is Coach For Men. Now, since the release of this fragrance, they have Coach Platinum and Coach Bleu, and they will see more fragrances from Coach here soon. But what I'll tell you about this fragrance specifically is that it has this energetic vibe to this scent. Now, this fragrance houses a few notes that are really common within fragrance, and they've done them right? They've done them differently enough where it wants to have this fragrance versus some of the other fragrances that feature this note. One of the key notes there is obviously the note of ambroxan or ambrox. But in addition to that, you have some pear within this fragrance, but it also has cardamom, vetiver, suede, coriander, and the list goes on. And to me, this fragrance really just meshes well. Those ingredients are well blended for what it is, and I think that this is a fragrance that's simple enough and at its price point, because this fragrance can be found at a ton of discounters at a extremely affordable rate. I think that this fragrance really just gets that additional nod because of that. This fragrance is spontaneous. Again, it's lively, it's energetic, it can be worn to the office, sophisticated enough for that, but it's toned down enough for that day-to-day casual wear. It's a fragrance that I've often mentioned and I'll put my money on and purchase more bottles of. This one is Coach For Men. And that takes us to our fifth and final fragrance on today's list, and this one is classic, it's classy, it's woody, and the epitome of what a fragrance should be from this house. This fragrance is from Tom Ford, and this one is Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. Now, Grey Vetiver is said to really embody the philosophy of what Tom Ford was going for within his fragrance lineup. Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver is cool, it's energetic, it's charismatic, it's vibrant as well as elegant. And those are things that we look for within fragrances, specifically for that do-all piece. Now, I often talk about Tom Ford being the master of seduction because I think that's what he does extremely well. When you pair a well-crafted fragrance with a well-tailored suit or well-tailored menswear, then you get a recipe for success when you are pursuing a perfect opportunity, be it a date night situation or a landing a job in a professional environment. And I really think that this fragrance does work. You guys know out there, if you've been tuned into this channel for a while, anytime that I'm doing a move and I have to pack up my fragrances, this one comes with me specifically. I put this one in my dot bag and we are good to go. Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver is a masterpiece scent if you're asking me. And if you're watching this video, you may be. But if not, it's okay. It's okay. I get it, my guy. But all in, I really think that Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver is a super solid scent, which is why it's on today's list. And again, this is extremely affordable, right? It's brought to you at a price point that I think is extremely manageable, especially when compared to some of these signature fragrances or this private blend fragrances that he offers, because this is part of the signature series. So I might have misspoken there, but when you compare those to the private blend fragrances, that is extremely affordable. So a top 5 do-all fragrances, this is what we have today. Again, hopefully you enjoy these fragrances as well as the fragrances that will be housed and featured within my new fragrance collection. If you have not heard, right, again, hopefully you saw it in this video, I will be dropping 3 new fragrances, which brings my total collection up to 8. And I think that a lot of you out there will be extremely happy and surprised by some of the notes that you get within these fragrances. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list down below, because you can get access to the notes, the ingredients, everything as they come out, right? The promos as they come out. You'll be one of the first people out there to know. That's all I have for you guys and girls today. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. The like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.